Garcia, and we are back on Shaking the Culture 2025, first podcast of the year, and many more to come. And we're kicking off this year, literally just switching shit up a little. I'm here with no other than...
You're here with Bryan Anzel and
Esco.
All right, so what you guys do?
So I am a producer and mix engineer, and we both own a studio called Society Sound.
Mainly an engineer, songwriting as well. More on the Latino side, though. You know,
Gotcha. So the reason why I guess we were like, let's do this podcast, besides, just introducing you guys to like the world type of thing, or our audience and our fan base and stuff. It's before I even met you guys, I was telling you guys at the studio when we were together, I've never really seen like that Latino niche of creatives in this industry. We're in Atlanta, we see the trap, like Atlanta is home of Migos, T.I., Jeezy, but we never see that Latin aspect of it. So I was like, I never thought I would run into people like you guys, which is crazy. So how long have you guys been doing this, and how'd you guys even come to meet?
Wow.
Well, I'll start. And I grew up in Gwinnett, and up there was a few Latinos doing it, even like as far as a decade ago. And so you had like Flaco y Jonah, you had Capitol, you had a bunch of guys that were like really shaking the culture. You know what I mean? For a Latin wave. So they were like the first ones opening up at El Chaparral. They were opening up for the Latin festivals out here. And so they did shows with like Pitbull. They would do stuff with like Ime Kenway, whatever, like all the big names, if they were passing by. So
what would you say there's like 09 vibes?
Even before that, like 07.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I grew up with kind of like seeing them kind of doing their thing, but then I definitely did go off into just my own world of figuring out this audio stuff, which took me basically all around the world with hip hop mainly, hip hop, rap. And so then I just kind of fell back into like, okay, let me tap back into my Latin roots. I really needed that for my soul. And so met Esco through a mutual friend of ours that he's Puerto Rican. And so he was introduced to me as like a producer, like, yo, you got to check this motherfucker out. So
Nasty.
Checking him out. Then we started working together, and then that's how I met Esco. And you have been knowing Quinto for a while.
Yeah, definitely. I think, my journey is probably about 10 years deep now. Since I went to audio school. I went to audio school, and I was always okay with like trying to figure out what's the path that takes us to the thing. Like which one's the path? I got to figure it out. And they're like, you got to intern, you got to assist, you got to go to a studio and work, And so I did it, but I was like, I'm not satisfied with this. Where can I go next? And I just kind of kept it going that way. But yeah, that's how we ended up running into each other, probably 7 or 8 years deep into it. It was interesting because I think we share that same thing. We were like, where are the Latinos at? That was my question the whole time. Like, it's just me out here.
Yeah.
But you don't know there's one single person out there also doing the same thing.
Yeah, and then that's crazy. I didn't know you were in Gwinnett, because I live in Gwinnett, So I think when you said Gwinnett, it's just like it aligns, because even seeing like Fresco and I don't know about El Cesar.
El Cesar.
Yeah, El Cesar. Sorry. I like. Are they from Gwinnett? Are they all from Gwinnett?
I think so.
And that's the part where I'm like, that makes sense, because, Gwinnett has like that Hispanic culture and that
Melting
presence.
pot.
But when you come to Atlanta, and like how I started my journey was at Camp Kirk Studios. Come on, it was just like creatives and stuff like that. It wasn't any type of Latinos.
Right.
I was trying to find a Hispanic photographer, and it was like, where? Because in Atlanta, you don't have that niche. And if you do, you just have to know people, or you've been in the industry for a little bit, and you're like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, there's been like I said, like a I feel like we're like Atlanta is in a second era of creatives trying to make a name for themselves here, because it definitely did die down. So,
Right, because there was the first era.
There was the first era that I'm telling you about, and then it kind of just like there's no movement, and now there's like a resurgence of like people really trying to collaborate. That song that I told you about, right? It's like it's starting to. There's like 4 guys on there that are really moving in the city.
Yeah, and I've never even heard of any of them, which is crazy. Sorry, guys. Like I told him, I'm like, I listen more to like the hip hop, because that's what I'm around.
Sure.
And like that's really who my audience and my guests are. They're in that community. But I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Because me and my friend Dakari of 404, shout out to him. We were like, if there was that one Latino that came out of Atlanta being that little baby level, T.I. level, that shit would change his whole fucking career. And open up so many doors to be like, yeah, we have this hip hop trap and all this stuff, but the Latinos are still doing their thing in Atlanta and kind of reclaim in a way. And I didn't reclaim because that's not the proper term, but it's like put our stamp right next to it.
Exactly.
Because I feel like, I don't know who it was. I think it was you, where it's like we have to be like, thank you, T.I., Jeezy, all you other artists, because the reason why we're doing this is because we look up to you guys.
Because it's possible.
Yeah. So I think like that part is like crazy aspect of it,
Yeah, I would say that if we do have that one person to come out of here, it would change like the perception of the whole city. Because I'll tell you what, like when we go to Miami or we go anywhere else, like they don't perceive Atlanta as a Latin city at all.
I wouldn't either. I didn't.
Yeah, not the way you do LA or Houston or whatever,
Miami
New York
itself.
even, right? I mean, Miami's Mecca for sure right now for Latinos, pero Atlanta's not that, although we have like a large numbers. But I'd say to answer the question, like, man, where are all the Latinos at? Where are the photographers? There's just never been anybody that had that high level skill set.
Yeah.
Ever to even provide other people to also grow or have an infrastructure, which is actually why we opened the studio, Society Sound. And we were like, man, there is no Latin studio, so we're just gonna have to open one up.
Okay.
And so are the guys that work under us, with us, assist us, collaborate with it, whichever, all Latinos.
And I noticed that when I went to go visit you guys, I was like, oh shit, you actually have more Latinos? What? You have like a whole little studio for it, which is dope though, which is really dope. But shout outs to Marvin, because Marvin's the reason why.
Shout out to Marvin.
We met. And I was just like, yo, Marvin, you're a real one, because he's a plug for anything and everything.
Salvadoreño.
Yeah. Gotta include that one part too. Cool. All right. So we kind of talked a little bit, well, you touched a little bit about the studio and why you guys created it. But how long has it been open for? And how do people like reach out to book it? Because one thing when I went to go see, I'm like, wait, this is Low Key Studios. So I feel like some people might, get a little bit confused. So tell us how to do that. Like,
yeah, absolutely. So Society Sound, societysoundstudios.com, at Society Sound Instagram, the whole jazz. But for Society Sound, it's been a year and a half, maybe, in some little change. But the Society Sound, the brand, but we've been around for 10 years now plus. But it's interesting. So the building has multiple rooms in it, as you've seen, and Low Key's company has been there much longer. So obviously his brand stays there. But because we have separate audiences and just complete separate niches, like you mentioned, it just works. It just works. And I always make the example of when you go across like one vending machine, your question is, do I want a Coke? Do I want a snack? And the answer is yes or no. So that's 50%, yes or no. But if you have two vending machines next to each other, then your question is, which one do I want?
Yeah.
And so the answer changes. So there's probably like 75% hike on success rate or on making a sale. So it's turned into an incredible collaboration of like sharing space.
Yeah.
More than anything. And it's very synergetic. Everybody's super supportive. And I mean, that would be the thing that I love about Atlanta, I'll say. I think the community here is always apoyado, like just supported Latino.
Yeah.
And seeing the value in us, because it's the opposite isn't true.
Yeah.
And so Atlanta has provided a space for someone like Bryan to become Bryan Anzel on the ones and twos. And it's because hip hop has always been okay with being like, who's that Mexican kid? Yeah, put him in the chair, make him engineer. And we're like hybrids as Latinos, like as far as hard work and like vibe.
Yeah.
So get the work done, but be cool in the room.
Yeah.
And not everybody has that. So
yeah,
a long-winded answer to your question, but like, I think all the pieces go together.
Yeah,
to understand it.
With you even breaking it down like that, like I think now that you said that, I think that Low Key Studios is what Atlanta is, a collab of everything.
That's right.
And a lot of studios don't do that. You don't see everybody, every ethnicity, culture, whatever, in one spot, like Loki Studio.
Yeah.
So that's fire.
Shout out to Loki.
Bags. He's cool as fuck. He's super cool. All right. So this event that you guys have coming up March 15. So is this a part of like your brand? Are you what's going on with this? How did this even come about, and what was the reason behind?
Yeah, for me it was it all started with like wanting to know who was in the city. You know, like very much like coming from working with Future and Young Thug and you know all of those guys. Shout out to all of them. Big love to all of them for sure. But again, I needed like that. I was yearning for that Latin thing. My roots were calling me.
Yeah.
And so I really wanted to know who was in the city. And so we decided to really just create like a space where everybody could come, you know, just put the calling card out there and then just everybody pop out, show us some music. And then we called it Plug and Play. So you literally just plug up your phone, play a couple songs, and then we just get to know you. And so that was my main reason. But I know you had other reasons too, but to put on a networking event so that everybody can just come together, you know?
Absolutely.
And the other thing that I slowly realized was like, that was really cool was putting everybody together, because there was a lot of like old, like beefs or old, like, or even just like a lot of, what do you call it? Like disconnect. Like, oh, I thought you didn't fuck with me. No,
Yeah,
it was never like that.
Yeah.
You know, so little hearsays, rumors and stuff like that. So there's a lot of like, even, I'm gonna keep shouting out my boy Flaco. Flaco is doing a lot of the legwork when it comes to like opening up the conversation between like artists and like promoters and DJs and what is the disconnect here? You know? Like what is the miscommunication?
Yeah.
And so anyway, just putting everybody together in a room, that was the main point. And for me, it was to see what was out here.
Yeah.
Who's producing, who's making beats, what kind of artistry are you into? What genres are out here? And it's really a melting pot.
Exactly.
It's
That's why I love
such a melting
Atlanta.
pot.
That's why I was like, I think Shaking the Culture is like a perfect name, because it's a melting pot. We're melting shit together, which is being shaken into becoming something new.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it shows in our music. Just like if I want to be like an easy example would be like trap music. Trap music. This is Atlanta. This we've been leading the scoreboard for a long time, right? Trap music. So when it comes to Latin trap music, like it ain't popping like that. And I'm like, man, if y'all let Atlanta for one time just make some Latin trap music, if it's coming from Atlanta, it's gonna be nasty. Which is actually what we end up working a lot on. And so we have a lot to offer for sure. So I'm pretty excited about that. Plug and Play is definitely, for me, I've always had the dream to establish the Latin industry in Atlanta. When I say always, I mean like a 16-year-old talking about doing it. You know, so it's like, man, I'm gonna be the guy, whatever, and have a label and just whatever the dreams are about it all. But like doing the Plug and Play, it really was about going. We've made it pretty far in a career space without everybody. Okay, so how do we like pull everybody with us? Yeah, which is hard. And so very difficult actually, because some people can't see the vision if they've never been at the same stage with you. So we're like, all right, so how do we do it? Well, let's show them a nice place. Let's take them to the nicest studio we could think of. This Tree Sound Studios. Boom. So, you walk in, you see Drake on the wall, you see, Bieber, you see Wayne, you see Elton John. So people are like, what building is this? Yeah. And so it starts that inspiration. And so there's infrastructure. So we're still in building stage for Latin market here. We're still in infrastructure stage. But like the Plug and Play was the first Latin networking event like the city has ever had. Yeah, that's fire. So that was 2022, end of 2022 was the first one. And we
really kept it going because, first of all, people would be like, we got to do this every month. And it's like, okay, relax.
Yeah,
like,
tone it down a little bit.
Let's do it like annually. Yeah, let's not water it down.
Exactly.
And, give people a chance to go out and create like what's the word, like nurture the connections that you made.
right.
Yeah.
You know, like you made a
Very well said.
connection, and that's literally what's been happening. And
Yeah.
not to say that we were the spark of the
No,
whole
that is
thing.
what I'm saying.
Oh,
You don't have to
okay.
say it.
I mean,
I'm
that's
saying
fine.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Happy to be the part.
you know, it's like we do see a lot of people collaborating,
Yeah.
and a lot of like just producers.
Beautiful.
Matter of fact, one of the guys met another guy there, and then now they're like rooming together. And they just create music
That's
and all of
fire.
that.
That's right.
And it's like,
Right.
damn, we're like changing lives.
Exactly. I get
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of another thing with like the podcast aspect of it. Is like sometimes we don't get to run into these people in person, so we don't know what the fuck we don't know what they're about and whatever. So it's nice to actually watch a video and you run into in the city. You're like, oh, I saw you, or like
That's right.
what you have going on. That's kind of my purpose. I'm gonna like, can I work for you? Can we do that? You know? So it's just like, it's pretty dope, especially like I said, the Latin community right now, I feel like it's growing, especially with like Oye Festival and stuff like that. I feel like they're doing a lot of stuff too, like with Margarita and all of them, which is super dope. So I'm like, I can't
Right.
wait. Like, I just hope it stays consistent though, and not just have that fade again.
I think it's going to. I think it has to.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Like, I think we finally have the numbers of like our age group that have weight and
Yeah.
can make change. Because I remember if I was 20 at one time, there weren't enough people
Yeah.
to like make a change.
Yeah.
So now we're here though. Look, we're literally in the room
Yeah.
together right now. You're on your corner doing your thing, and then us, and then Flaco
Yeah.
over there, like you mentioned, and yeah, and then you know we have the nonprofit that we started as well.
Yep. I was gonna ask about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
tell us a little
yeah.
bit about that. And that's so. Is that what like? Please like correct me. You said that that's gonna kind of be like the nonprofit is the one who's gonna be putting on this event, or like tell me a little bit about that.
Man, you want this? That's good.
No, go
That's good. Man, so Cinco Pistas is the name of the nonprofit, and we're happy to be a part of it. And a lot the other members of the nonprofit approached us with like, hey, we want to support the Latin music creators, so artists mainly.
Yeah.
And because of that we need that one person to come out of the city. So but these guys have been at it for a lot longer. So shout out to Paul Diaz, the owner of Tree Sound, actually. Drew Castro, also a legend in the city. And then B More as well. And but Luis would be the other person. He's the owner of Mojitos. Know you ever been to Mojitos in Norcross?
Yeah.
But yeah, so they all have the same kind of dream, and so they're like, how can we support? What can we do? And so when we were approached with it, we were like, well, look, we've already been doing these plug and plays. We already have a roster. We already to me, it's like, man, you guys are late to the game, but let's
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
You know, not talking smack or nothing like that, but it's just more so I'm finally, because it's been really difficult to put on these
Yeah.
events when
believe
it's
it.
like two guys, you know, trying to figure it out. You know, there we are driving a shuttle bus, renting a thing or whatever. I don't know, just anything, but we're happy to do it. But yeah, so with the nonprofit, they just putting just lighting the fire behind that little. We had a dim little fire going, and
Yeah.
they have the resources though. You know, they have the spaces available, they have the catering available. So to throw on an event,
Yeah.
they're just able to do it, and we're like, man, thank you. So the plug and play just gets boosted.
Yeah.
And so they're helping for sure. And Cinco Pistas is also bringing. I don't know if you know. Do you know Tony Zucar?
No.
Tony Zucar just won a Grammy, a salsa Grammy.
You
but-
told me about this guy a while ago. And
Okay,
I was
yeah.
I was gonna look him up, but I just honestly
Yeah,
never
Tony
did.
Zucar,
Yeah.
incredible salsa composer, and he just won a Grammy. So he's actually coming in April.
Nice.
So Cinco Pistas is behind that as well. So that's why I'm like, the light's not dimming. It's like
It's just getting bigger and brighter.
it's gonna get bigger. We have the numbers, we have the support, and also just the care. I think everybody actually cares, and it's not about vanity.
Yeah.
You know, not from everyone anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
Hopefully
you're always
answers.
gonna have that regardless of what it is.
Comes with it.
Exactly, because if it doesn't, then you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
True.
If they don't want to be a part of it, if they're like, "Oh shit, now I want to follow you guys," it's like, all right, we're not really, stepping on the gas pedal.
Right.
So
Okay.
I get that definitely. All right, so March 15th. What time does it start?
7.
7. Cool. And if you guys want like a breakdown of the schedule, actually just check that out. You guys have the whole breakdown already on
Yeah,
that thing.
I need
So I
that.
love that. So yeah, cool. So where can we go to get tickets?
Really on our socials, so at Bryan Anzel or at Cinco Pistas, at Esco ATL. At official plug and play.
Yeah. Okay.
All
It's
of the
everywhere.
socials, the link in bio. That's probably what is it? Plug and play. Officialplugandplay.com.
Visualplay.com takes you there.
Yeah.
But it's an Eventbrite. It's an Eventbrite link, and you get an admission ticket. You can get a 2-for-1 admission ticket.
I did see that.
Save
Yeah,
some money. Get 2 tickets.
Bring
and
a
then,
friend.
Bring a
You
friend.
know?
That's right. And then, but there is a separate sign-up ticket because we want definitely a roster of people that want to showcase their music. That way we just get a roll call ahead of time, and because there's only about 20 slots available just per time. You can, it's about between 2 and 4 minutes that people are up there playing their music, and we like to at least get to know them and stuff like that. But yeah.
Fire. Cool.
And I don't think I've even told you yet. Well, I told you a little bit, but
Here we go.
it's I'm talking to somebody right now that's coming from Miami that I think everybody's gonna be excited to check it out. So I just need to confirm it.
It's gonna be the City Girls. No, I'm just kidding.
It's gonna be Kodak Black.
Look, that's fire. That is fucking
Exciting.
fire.
No, yeah. So I really is just that like whether that happens or not, we're still gonna have the Recording Academy members from the Recording Academy.
That's right.
Pulling up, which they're the ones who put on the Grammys show for if you don't know.
Yeah.
We'll have bunch of producers that are established that have been working and doing stuff around the city. We're gonna have engineers like multi-platinum engineers and people that you can just like rub elbows with and just shake somebody's hand and get to the next contact. And like I said, like we've seen it happen already, where somebody did meet Drew at one of them, Cat on the Move, and she was like, and then she met Drew there, he's like super out of here fucking engineer, and producer, and so then they started working, and so it just happens that way,
There's opportunity in and of it all,
and you get to play your music in front of a bunch of people that are literally trying to do the same thing that you're trying to do. So,
exactly. The same vision.
community is important.
Yeah, definitely. So definitely gonna go shake hands and whatnot. So
are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I was just telling him actually it's after my birthday. My birthday's March 14th.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna
word.
go like the next day or whatever. So yeah.
Perfect.
So yeah, I'm like just to get some interviews in. So I'm just gonna go see who's there.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And
You gonna do the little like phone interviews?
No, I'm not gonna do all that. I've done that before, but I'm just like I'm more of a like I just want 101s, because it hits different, like the vibe's different and whatever.
Sure.
And it's just like people get to like tend to like open up at events. You'd be like, "Hi, I am Diana. This is what I do. Oh, cool. That's what you do. That's amazing.
That's
All
right.
right. What's your social media contact?" And that's it. And unless you like follow up or whatever, but when you actually get to sit down with people and like see what they're really about, it's just a different connection.
Right.
Sure.
So,
Yeah, that'd be dope. Once you do get there, let's talk some more about like how we can like properly set you up with like a little spot, or something.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's so dope. Cool. I'm always putting myself in these situations.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
You came around the wrong guys because we have work.
The guys, they really, I was about to say, you guys are going to put me
Yeah.
to work. Dang, Hispanics, shaking my head. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like, I just wanted to
Just wanted to say
the
what's
vibes.
up, right? I just wanted to
You
like,
said you wanted to do interviews.
Yeah, but I meant like talk to people and be like, you should come do an interview on my podcast.
Got you.
Not interview. See, you already think about,
Yeah.
we're going to put her to work, right?
I just signed her up.
You just did what he just did to you, signed you up for no reason. Crazy. All right, so we're going to break it down a little bit. So I'm going to ask you a couple questions, quick off your head, get to know you. There are 4 to 5 questions, All right, ready? So anything top of your head.
Beavis and Butthead. Oh.
All right, ready? All right, what's your favorite type of ice cream?
Wow. Key lime
Cookies and
pie.
cream.
Cookies and cream. I've never had key lime.
Key lime pie. Brewster's makes a key lime pie during like the summer.
Okay. What's your favorite movie genres?
Like suspense, thrillers.
Action. Okay.
Yeah.
Solid. Who was that artist that inspired you to get into the music scene?
Wisin y Yandel duo.
That's just a fire ass duo.
They're the
Yeah.
ones.
I don't know. I had so many. I mean, 50 Cent, Eminem.
Yeah.
Like that whole little
Era.
the whole era of things. Yeah.
Yeah, fire. All right, and then what's your favorite color?
Black.
It's changed
Teal.
over the years. Not to have a dissertation, but it used to be blue. Now it's purple.
Oh, okay. Valid, valid. When's your birthday?
Royalty. 10/23.
10/23.
October 23rd.
12/27.
Okay, fire, fire. All right, and last question. When you hear shaking the culture, what's the first thing that comes to your head?
Movement.
Disturbance.
Here, like a big movement, like really like being serious about whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah.
And really,
Serious is a good word.
yeah.
I like disturbance for sure, like a nuisance, like a problem, and we're proud of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. See,
You're projecting.
Fire.
I am.
Definitely
That's
projecting.
exactly what it is. That's what we're doing right, Nizzy. That's what we came to do. I ain't gonna lie.
All right. So where can we guys follow you at? Where can we, because you guys have a podcast too. So tune into that as engineers and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You guys just get to see their personality to come out on those podcast episodes. So where can we find you guys at?
And find us at Bryan Anzel with a Y. And then
At Esco_ATL.
and then we have at Society Sound, that's the studio.
Yeah.
Society Sound Popcast, that's the podcast. Official Plug and Play. We have so many. At Cinco Pistas.
I'm done. That's enough. But
All right. Cool beans. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate your time and energy and everything. Good have conversations outside of the camera. So yeah, can't wait.
Thanks for inviting us.
Of course. Cool. It's a wrap.